Opportunity to contribute to the county allocation of Revenue Bill 2026. Mr. Speaker, as it has been observed, this is a very important bill that keeps our county governments going, and it also keeps, when our county governments are going well, the national government is doing well. We have had very many hiccups in the county governments in terms of implementation of their budgets. And Mr. Speaker, I would invite this House to consider, which is the same thing we should consider at the national level, control of public money. How do we control public money? And what is the architecture in the Constitution for controlling public money? We raise money, we distribute the money nationally and at the county levels, then we lose control. So how do we control this money? And I would be inviting this House to look at Article 225, Clause 1 and Clause 2. In that article, the subheading of the section is control of public money. And the first requirement is for Parliament to establish a national treasury. In the second line of that article, there's a requirement for legislation to provide for the control and use of public funds. That article clearly anticipates two laws. We have ended up with one law called the Public Finance Management Act, and in the process, we have lost a very big aspect of the nature and character of the treasury at the national level and the treasury at the county level. At the national level, the treasury for all practical purposes is the president, because Section 11 of the Public Finance Management Act clearly spells out that the treasury comprises of the cabinet secretary, the principal secretary, and the departments, and the cabinet secretary is the head of the treasury. A similar arrangement, Mr. Speaker, sir, is replicated in the counties. We have got the CEC Finance and the Chief Officer of Finance running the treasury and serving at the pleasure of the governor. At the national level, they serve at the pleasure of the president. So at the end of the day, you end up with the governor being the treasurer of the county and the president being the treasurer of the national government. The two individuals, honorable or excellencies as they are politicians. And the politicians seek to attract support. You give them a pot of honey, they'll use that pot of honey to attract whatever they want to attract. So the treasuries become tools for attracting political support, not for development. And so you find that when you go to our counties, resources, at the end of the day, the budget is done, the CIDPs are made, the county development, whatever are made, then the budget. But at the end of the day, what happens is what the government wants to see happening, not the budget. You come to the national level, Mr. Speaker, sir, we go through a very strenuous and demanding process of budget making, right from the ground. It's programmed up to the top, and we get to the national government, we make a budget, like the National Assembly will make a budget, it's passed. But what gets implemented is not that budget. It's the whims of the president. Simply because the president has both the knife and the cake, as Achebe would put it. The governor at the county level also has the same arrangement. The county assemblies are voiceless because the only tool they could use to control the governor is already with the governor, which is money. You come to the national level, the only tool that parliament could use to control the president is money, but the money is already with the president. Yet our constitution requires those things to be separate. And Mr. Speaker, sir, if you look at that, just even a casual look at the constitution, the cabinet is handled at Article 152. The treasury is handled at Article 225. It was not an idle exercise that the separation was so physical even in the document itself. So the idea that the treasury should be a ministry of the national government hurts devolution in a very bad way. Other than losing control of public money, which should be controlled through this house and our sister house, the National Assembly, we get a situation whereby the president, through the cabinet secretary and the PS finance in charge of the treasury, control the treasury. And this plays out. Even the other day, Mr. Speaker, you were at a function and I was watching you, where you are celebrating with heaps of rice over one young man who had been made a PS. And you are praising him and singing and dancing and jumping around. At the end of the day,
Senator Omtatah.
Yes.
Senator Omtatah. Why do you want to build your house on sinking sand? Abandon that line and proceed to make comments necessary and relevant to this debate.
I apologize, Mr. Speaker, and withdraw, and I quote Cherargei, but the point has been made. So, Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that at that meeting where you were making you began making a mini budget with the president. You began telling the president, we need here. The minority leader was also there. He also said he needs to see a road here, we need to do that. And I was asking myself, this is the Speaker of the Senate. And this is a member of the Senate. And the MPs from the National Assembly.
Senator Omtatah, leave the chair out of your comments, please.
I'm guided.
Yeah.
I apologize and I withdraw. Okay, minority leader was there. They have made their budget in this place. And it's not even it just happened. I'm just repeating it because it was the most recent when you were enjoying, what do they call it, biryani and those kind of things that we find unpalatable in the West. But you like them in the coast. So if you gave Sufuna for dinner, you gave him biryani, he'll wake up at night to demand a meal. Because he's been raised on stronger stuff. So when you were doing that, you found that you have made a budget in this house, in Parliament, you have made a budget. We have gone through all these rigors, all this pain of all these things that we do here. But then what happens? When the president appears in a village, you stand up and begin saying, we need this, we need that, we need the other, and the president says, I will grant you. You go down to the governor, when the governor appears at a funeral, people speak and say, we need this, we need this, we need that, but there's a budget that was made for that county. Those things are not in the budget. The governor grants them. That is why the problem is in this country. That we have disobeyed Article 225, Clause 1 of the Constitution, to set up independent treasuries. In this country, we have a presidential system, but we cannot shut down the government of Kenya like it happens in the US, that the government shuts down because the budget has not been passed. We can't do that here. So I would be praying with this house. And again, I want to invoke and harass my brother Bishop. There's a bill you are supposed to make on separating the national treasury.
Senator Omtatah,
yes,
you shall refer to your colleagues as the Honorable Senator so-and-so.
Okay, the Honorable Member from Kitui County.
Order. Honorable Senator.
Bishop simply means elder in Greek. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a title of a pastor. It just means an elder. And he's an elder from Kitui. He's an elder from Kitui.
Order, honorable senators, order.
So,
Majority leader.
the gentleman from Kitui.
Now,
The gentleman from
Senator Omtatah.
Yes.
You cannot refer your colleague as a gentleman from Kitui.
No, Mr. Speaker,
standing orders-
I will differ with you there strongly. He is a gentleman from Kitui. Let us get the right terminologies to be used in this house. I
Now,
understand my English, even if you go to the Senate of the Republic of the USA, where we borrowed, they refer to each other as gentlemen or ladies from here or from there.
now, Senator Omtatah, take your seat. Take your seat. Senator Omtatah, this is a house of rules and procedure. 4 years down in this term, by now you must be versed with the provisions of standing orders, especially on the standing order that demands that you refer to your colleagues as the Honorable Senator so and so. It is not a directive from the chair. It is a demand by our standing orders. Kindly proceed to refer the Honorable Member from Kitui as Honorable Senator Enoch Wambua. Proceed.
You just said what I was
Leave the
saying.
issue of the gentleman to the other jurisdictions.
Okay, the honorable gentleman from Kitui, because we want the...
Senator Omtatah, I have directed you.
But you have just said you have also referred to him as a man
You
from Kitui.
you need to respect our standing orders. Please, just stick to our standing orders. Leave alone the Englishmen to refer their Englishmen the way they want to refer them. Let's stick to our standing orders.
Mr. Speaker, maybe some guidance. What is dishonorable in referring to somebody as a gentleman? Okay. For the sake of harmony, let me refer to nobody. So is it that way?
You may proceed, Senator.
Thank you,
Omtatah.
Mr. Speaker. I will proceed. And what I'm going to say is that there was a proposal to move a bill to help us separate the treasuries at both the national and the county level from the executive so that we can restore control of money through the elected assemblies and with the use of independent civil servants who enjoy security of tenure to be custodians of the public purse. And the only way money can be moved from the treasury is that it must be in the bill, in the budget, and that it has been approved by the control of budget. Today, money is being moved from the treasury in manners that we don't understand. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the statement of actual revenue and net expenditure issues that is published, that is by law required to be published within 21 days of the end of each month, you will find movements of money, gazillions of money being moved that are not in the budget. They are going to do things that are not in the budget. Even domestic borrowing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I've never seen domestic borrowing in any budget I've examined since 2010. And yet we borrow beyond $1 trillion shillings of late, beyond $1 trillion shillings domestically without approval of Parliament. Let us restore the control of money. Let us drain the swamp. Then the other thing, the other day I saw our senators and all of us fought very hard to add about 5 billion shillings on the allocation to our county governments. I'm doing an audit of the budget right now. I'm almost halfway done. And I've identified 90 billion shillings in ghost allocations. And the ghost allocations are being called other operational expenses. And in one ministry, of Interior, 14 billion is allocated, is more, the largest allocation is for other expenses that are not defined, and yet we are here struggling over 5 billion, 10 billion shillings, and already 90 billion, if you look at just the budget, reading through the budget, is being misallocated through something called other operating expenses. Which are these other operating expenses that have got no name? We require votes for everything. And if you look at the ministry, you find that they've basically covered everything that is required to be covered. What are these expenses? So we have a lot of money being stolen on the revenue side of things. Forget about theft through the expenditure, which is in comparative terms negligible. The theft that is happening on the revenue side of things is really scary. And this House must come up with a mechanism.
What is the point of order, Senator Fernandez?
Mr. Speaker, I raise under Standing Order 105 on responsibility of fact and Article 211 borrowing by the national government. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the distinguished Senator and Presidential hopeful Senator Sen Omtatah to say there is borrowing by national government without approval by Parliament, even quoting 1 trillion plus? Is it in order, yet the Constitution under Article 211 say Parliament shall approve, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order? Can you substantiate the allocation? Can you
order, Honorable Senator, Senator Onyonka. Senator Onyonka. It's not a fact as far as Senator Fernandez is concerned.
Correct.
And that's why he has stood on a point of order seeking that particular allegation to be substantiated. Now, Senator Omtatah.
Yeah, can you substantiate, Mr. Speaker?
Take your seat, Senator Fernandez.
I had not finished, Mr.
Take your seat. Now, Senator Omtatah, you have made an allegation that that the government has made certain borrowings without the approval of Parliament, as the law demands. Would you substantiate those allegations now? If not, you may wish to substantiate them at the next sitting, which is tomorrow. Would you wish to substantiate immediately? If not, then you can proceed to withdraw that statement.
I've never withdrawn anything in my life.
Order! Order, honorable senators. Order. Order. The member has just stated he's never withdrawn anything in his life.
Yeah.
Allow him to stand by his assertion. Proceed.
And Mr. Speaker, sir, before I substantiate, we must understand that I hope my time is being saved. We must understand that information is immaterial. That's why we are told that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It's immaterial. It's spiritual. And I want to begin by partially substantiation there is the money that was given to the Nyota Fund by the World Bank. Where in the budget was it approved? That loan that was given. And going forward, I would request that tomorrow the clerk sets up these instruments. I come here and I need 30 minutes to substantiate, and I walk you through the budgets and the statements of accounts of the government to show you how we are being looted. Can that be done for me tomorrow?
Order, Honorable Omtatah. Honorable Omtatah, you have just indicated you're unable to substantiate instantly, and therefore you're requesting to do so tomorrow. Very well. You may proceed to conclude your
comment. But the request is that I be allowed to...
You may proceed.
The gadgets be actualized, the country be hooked on, and I do the substantiation online for everybody to see. Not that I give you to decide whether I've substantiated or not.
Senator Omtatah,
yes. You
cannot dictate on how this House proceeds on this matter.
I am an elected representative. I represent taxpayers, and the only reason I'm here is because people pay taxes. Everything else is irrelevant. And when it comes to public money, I will dictate how that public money is to be used. I would rather be thrown out of this House than be part of the scam. I achieve nothing sitting in this House if it cannot control public money. I would rather be thrown out and never be a senator in my life than be part of the scam.
Senator
and that's
Omtatah,
what I'm saying.
Order, Senator Omtatah, order. If I were you, I would have saved that energy for tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, when you are substantiating. You said you're unable to do so right now, and therefore, can you save that energy for tomorrow with all the gadgets? You may now proceed.
I only requested that the matter of substantiation should be not a case whereby I hand you a flash disk, then you come and tell us, I've substantiated or I've not. I want to do it in the open, on the screens, so that every person in this country can see that I've substantiated how government is engaging us in odious debt, which we have not been approved by Parliament. Because the only reason I'm here is because
Senator Omtatah, we have concluded that matter. Proceed to conclude your comments.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm well guided. And moving, yes, I would like to be informed by the whip.
I have not given any permission for any information. Proceed to conclude your comments.
So, Mr. Speaker, this bill is a very important bill for us. But it amounts to a lot of pounding water in a mortar. It amounts to pounding water in a mortar if we don't restore the checks and balances that ensure that public money is controlled. We must control money. So the system that is broken, as my brother is saying, I hope that is parliamentary to call you my brother, is good for us to go back as Parliament, and I will be requesting the leadership of the House to give prominence to the requirement in the Constitution that we have control over public funds, that the power of the purse leaves the presidency and comes back to Parliament, that the power of the purse leaves the governor's chambers or residence and comes back to the National Assembly, to the county assemblies. That way, it's not a manifesto issue. It's an issue that's in the Constitution that requires implementation. Article 225, Clause 1 is very clear. And you have to read it as separately from Article 225, Clause 2. We are required to make two laws. We made one and made a mess of it. And the country is suffering because of that. It is something we can do. I don't know how to refer to him, but there's a way in which somebody ought to bring a bill. And if I don't know, if he can use my less of my time just to inform the House if the bill is in process or not. If he knows himself, I don't know how to refer to him, but that we should be able to help us. Yes, I would like to inform.
Proceed, Senator Omtatah, to conclude.
He had requested to inform me, and I had requested. So through the Speaker, I request that Mr. Wambua informs me.
Senator Omtatah, you need to acquaint yourself with our standing orders. You are a very good debater, but you seem not to have a good grasp of our standing orders. Proceed with your comments and conclude.
Yes.
Senator Wambua, what is your point of information?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take the floor to inform the senator from Busia that
Senator Wambua, I have not granted you permission, neither have I posed the question to the Honorable Senator whether he is amenable to your request to...
You called me, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, and what you're supposed to do was to indicate that you would wish to inform the Honorable Senator.
Yes.
In which case, then, I will ask him if he's amenable to your request. If he
he had yes, requested it earlier, but Mr. Speaker, we will be guided by you.
We have procedures.
All right, thank you.
And Senator Wambua, you're serving your, is it third term?
Second term.
Second term?
Yes.
Ranking member. We know this procedure, so let us stick with them. Senator Omtatah, would you wish to be informed?
Yes, I wish to be informed by the Honorable Senator from Busia, from Kitui. When I use the word senator, I tend to refer to myself.
You may proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that free lesson on our standing orders. Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the Senator from Busia that I've actually just, in the course of his presentation, I've actually consulted the table clerk, and I am waiting for an update on how far the Secretariat has gone in drafting that bill to permanently separate the National Treasury from the Ministry of Finance, so that the National Treasury equally serves both levels of government, that it doesn't serve the national government at the expense of county governments. The Speaker, I've been waiting for that bill to be drafted for such a long time, and I hope that this time round, the Senator for Busia will not remind us about that intention to bring that bill to the floor another time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Omtatah, you may proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And yesterday, Senator Cherargei referred to a very important aspect, Article 219 of the Constitution, which requires that funds be given to counties in good time. That cannot happen for as long as the National Treasury is part of the national government. The Treasury was supposed not to be part of any government, supposed to be autonomous and to serve all the governments equally. What happens, Mr. Speaker, the delay is caused because the national government demands on having a full belly and a leftover before it thinks of the county governments. A statement like sometimes the president says that I've given counties money is not part of our anticipated constitutional framework. It's not supposed to be the president to give money to counties. It's supposed to be the independent treasury, upon receiving the budget, make sure that by 15th of every month, the county governments are served. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill is a good bill. The efforts have been made in the houses, here and in the National Assembly. We have this bill. We are going to pass the money, but we are going to lose control of that money. The money going to the county governments, we are going to lose control of that money to the governors, because the governors are the treasurers, and the governors will use that money to do as they wish. And at the end of the day, they will come here before our committees, and when they are asked tough questions, they will say they are being extorted. So I really pray that we drain the swamp. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support this bill.
The Senate majority, the mover of this motion was the